now on the TV. So,
Oh boy.
let's reintroduce those two songs. We have "Here Comes That Rainy Day Feeling Again" by the Fortunes, presented by Moose, and "Because" by the Dave Clark Five, presented by Marie via Eddie. So those are the songs you're going to be voting on. If you didn't hear them, I can't help that. But they're very familiar songs, so that shouldn't be a problem. But before I answer the calls, I just want to remind people that, we start off the show with these songs just to kind of get the conversation rolling. But we really want you to be calling in with your memories of days gone by, and basically anything that you want to talk about from your past that you want to share with us, and you think that people might have a common type of experience, or share that time, that genre, that pop culture part of your life, whatever. I'm kind of emotional today because I watched the D-Day ceremony before I came in here, and I want to give credit where credit is due. President Biden did a very good job of with his speech, and very powerful, very emotional, and 120,000 young men stormed that beach in Normandy on this day 80 years ago. And 9,000 of them are still there, and it's really hard to watch.
Yes.
There was 24 guys there that give or take a year or two or three, they were 100 years old,
Yes.
and those guys are getting less and less every year, and we can't forget. We can't forget
No.
things like
Never.
that.
No.
And it. I'll be. It takes the young men of this country to keep saving this country.
Absolutely.
The only time in my lifetime that we answered the call was after 9/11, when young men just, lined up at the recruiting offices.
Yes.
Because of what was going on. We all of us here grew up during the Vietnam era, where we you've avoided the draft if you could, but there were some that didn't, and bless their hearts. But I just the sadness that goes along with a soldier dying is just, to me, it's just off the charts. I mean, there's a young man that never had children now. His parents lost their son or their daughter, and I don't know.
It's a huge sacrifice. It's a huge sacrifice
It's
that.
a very hard thing to deal with, then come in here and do this nonsense. But because of them, we can do that.
In Rhode Island
That's
had a
the whole
huge
thing
part
right there.
in that D-Day.
Yeah.
The naval base in Newport was responsible for most of the machines and the things that went in the flotation devices they used to transport things from the boats on the tanks and things like that. We were watching it this morning. They had one survivor. He's 99 years old. He was 19 when he went in.
Oh, kids were lying about their ages,
Yeah.
going in, and they were
Yeah.
16 years old.
Yes.
16 years old.
And they were proud.
And
Yes.
there.
well,
And that's why we're here.
and that's why we're here.
Absolutely.
But it takes young men who have no fear of dying. They do not understand mortality. They think they're supermen. It takes those kids to go in there and do this sort of thing. And
Because when we're young, we're invincible. We don't really think.
and when you're older, you have children, and you have other things that are more precious to you. When you're 16,
life is just beginning.
It's ironic. The only thing they have to lose is probably the most valuable thing, but they don't know it at the time, and that's their future.
Yes.
So it's all right. Well, anybody who wants to talk about that, feel free to do so. In the meantime, we're going to answer the calls. Good morning. To my speaking.
Hello, Kathy.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, Steve.
Hi,
Go ahead.
You talking?
Yeah, I'm talking.
Okay.
I can see all of you now.
I see you too.
I'm gonna vote for the Dave Clark 5 song because when I think of that song, when I think of Dave Clark 5, I think of that song. Plus, the Fortune song talks about rain, and I hate rain. But I don't want that rainy day feeling, which I have today, which I can't drive my convertible. But that's it. I love the Fortune. I loved You've Got Your Troubles, I've Got Mine.
Yeah.
But on this one, Dave Clark 5 edges it out in my book. But that's only my book.
So when I think of Dave Clark 5, I think of Eddie.
Well, that too. Exactly. And a lot of other people too. So are we going to lunch
I'll be at Betty's.
at 11? I've got to go to Speedy City Laundry and pick up my clothes, so I'll see you there. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Steve.
All right. Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning, it's Bobby.
Hey,
Bobby.
Bobby.
Tough choice between the two songs. They're both great songs. I think I got to go with Moose's song, though.
Okay.
Rainy Feeling. And I have an answer to his trivia question yesterday, the commonality. It came to me right after you went off the air, and I was thinking, like, crud, I know the answer to that. His commonality was Roseanne Cash and Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
Roseanne Cash did a song called 7 Year Ache.
Yes.
Marilyn Monroe was in 7 Year Itch.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was thinking something else because at one time, Marilyn Monroe was actually a Rosie the Riveter. So I'm thinking like Roseanne, Rosie.
Oh, maybe.
I was going that way too, so I wasn't sure which way it was.
all right, well, that's my semi-educated guess. And,
That's good.
That is it.
That sounds
That
good.
would be it for now.
All right.
Okay, very
Thanks,
good.
Bobby.
Hey, we got to go to a break, and we will be right back.
ON 1240.
Sending congratulatory messages to the Woonsocket High School class of 2024 is Hunter Insurance. They've been proudly serving the insurance needs of the people and businesses of the Blackstone Valley for more than 35 years. For home, auto, business, and life insurance, Hunter Insurance is able to offer superior coverage at a competitive price. As an independent trusted choice agency, they are able to choose from a group of reputable insurance companies and underwriters. Visit hunterinsurance.net or call Brian Hunter at 800-696-4678. And once again, congratulations, Woonsocket High School class of 2024 from Hunter Insurance.
Hi, this is Steve Peluso, owner of Peluso Precision Automotive in Mendon. Since 2017, Peluso Precision Automotive has been your destination for auto care, transmissions, and general classic car repair. I've had a passion for classic cars since I was born, and I started hanging around a gas station when I was 7 years old. Plus, I have more than 40 years of experience repairing the classics. So if you have a 53 Bel Air, or a 67 Mustang, or a 71 Dodge, and it needs servicing, bring it to Peluso Precision Automotive, 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon. Peluso Precision Automotive is your vintage car specialist, so give us a call at 508-478-8900. And remember the number, it's 508-478-8900.
It's Imperial Cars Summerfest Savings Event, and the deals are hot. Take advantage of savings up to $15,000 and rates as low as 0% financing on our most popular new vehicles and 5.49% on used. We've got the area's largest inventory of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, and even commercial vehicles too. Don't miss these sizzling summer deals. ImperialCars.com.
All right, we are back, and let's get right to the calls. Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Paul from Pawtucket.
Hey,
Hi, Paul.
Morning. I'm glad you acknowledged D-Day, Gary, when my wife and I did the trip to France, besides Paris, the Loire Valley, and various places. The last leg of the trip was in Normandy. Extremely moving. Driving through those areas where any of the movies you've seen on D-Day, there it was. They were filmed there as well. And to see the calmness there, and of course, so some of our prints there in 6 Mile Bridge that they built to get around all American ingenuity, not to mention the American flag.
It's breaking up.
We had a tour guide just for North. We had a big showing us the various landings, and we started in the first place we went to in Normandy was a German cemetery. Reason being, the same thing, hit the stones, and there were a lot of 18-year-olds inside. He couldn't help. And he felt people from Germany coming over and saying, what a waste. What a waste. In any event, saw the church where the guy got caught in the parachute. That some of the stained glass has pictures of the paratroopers. It was really something. If you go to France, it was really something. One of the people on our tours, he wanted to take a bag of sand home with them. Then he offered people, anybody wants some, and I'm thinking to myself, geez, guys died on. I just want to leave it there. We went to Niagara Falls, and I took a piece late from Niagara Falls. It was part of the erosion, but I wasn't. I just didn't. I don't know. Didn't want to bring sand back with me from Normandy. He evidently had a different thought about it, but very moving. What a unbelievable. And that's my story for today. No jokes. And I'll wait for an appointment.
What song are you going to vote for?
Dave Clark 5.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Hey, bye.
Bye-bye.
I just want to mention that if I remember correctly, Woonsocket's contribution to this was the U.S. Rubber?
Rubber
Yes.
shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rubber shop.
Made-
U.S. Rubber.
Made all the phony tanks
Yes.
that made the
blow-ups.
Germans think that we were going to be somewhere else.
Yes.
So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Right here.
Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, Gary. It's John from Cumberland.
Hi,
Hey, John.
Gary, first of all, I want to thank you and the crew for your very eloquent comments and observations about D-Day. I hope as many people as possible heard that and will carry that with them through the day. When I was a kid, I remembered it was Columbus Day. My father had the day off from work, and he took me to my first grown-up movie. I was like in 5th grade. And he took me to see The Longest Day. And as you know, not just knowing that I knew that what World War II was and that we fought in it, but to see the different aspects, the English, the Canadians, the Free French, and the Germans, just completely expanded my mind about history and just how great and global that conflict was.
Now, my father didn't have to take us to see that because we saw it in school. And sadly, I doubt if any school children even woke up this morning knowing what day it was.
That's right.
I'm afraid you're right.
Hopefully it'll be brought up in classrooms.
No.
It should be. It
Yes.
certainly should be. And today, the one thing I'll contribute, no questions today. By the way, I'm voting for Dave Clark.
Okay.
Today, as we take time to remember the sacrifices of our young countrymen, just take a second or two to remember the brave young men from the United Kingdom and Canada and the Free Frenchmen who also never came back from those shores.
Yes.
Couldn't have said it any
we
better.
were allies,
Yes.
and let's keep our alliances strong into the current day.
Yes.
Everybody have a great day.
You
Nice.
too.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you.
Good morning. To whom am I speaking? Hello.
Is that Carl?
Hello. This is Al.
No.
How you doing?
Hey, Al.
Hey, Al.
First of all, I'm going to vote for Because,
Okay.
and then I would like to share a story about my father-in-law who actually was in D-Day. His name is Roland Beauregard, and he had a barber shop in Bellingham for years. But when he went over there, he was a medic, and he lost half of his platoon that day. And amazing thing was later on in the war, I think he was in Belgium at the time, and they went into a church or something, and there was a gentleman there that was wounded. He was an American serviceman also. And Roland took care of him, and he helped save his life. And later on, they found out that this gentleman was also from Woonsocket, and I guess his family has something to do with Woonsocket Health and Culture, History and Culture Museum.
Oh, okay.
And it was just, he didn't talk about it very often, but he talked about it, one time. And, he was pretty emotional about it. But I just wanted to, give a shout out. It's Woonsocket, South Bellingham, and everything like that. So
Very
just wanted
good.
to give a shout out to Roland.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody who remembers that barbershop, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good day.
All right,
Thank you.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. God bless.
I have a friend who's, I think he's just about to turn 100. He lied about his age to get into the Army, along with 4 of his brothers. And when World War II broke out. And he served in Patton's Black Cat Tank Battalion. And he used to come into my real estate office when he had a bad night, which he had quite a bit. So the memories don't go away.
No.
Of course.
And it's
The things they saw.
the things they saw.
Yeah.
So that what was called battle fatigue back then, PTSD now, is very real. And so he used to come and talk about it with me, which I was flattered that he was an old family friend, a friend of my father's, and he's a great guy. He lives in Upton, Mass. He goes on. He talks about this whenever he can. He had great experiences when he was, that young man in that tank, and he gave me a P-38 German pistol that he took off of a dead German lieutenant, and I treasure that. Just to have a little piece of that memory, but. I don't know how long he's going to be with us, but so far so good.
Your father went in after it all. He was on that cleanup duty after World War II.
Yeah, but during the war, he was in Panama.
Yes. Yeah.
They were getting ready at that time because they thought that was the next place that was going to get hit was the Panama Canal, and he spent 2 or 3 years down there, laying wire and telephone wire from end to end on the Panama Canal because there was really nothing there. It was all walkie-talkies and things like that, ham radios, and they needed telephone lines from end to end, and that's what he was doing. They were waiting because that was the next place that was going to get hit was the Panama Canal from either side, either the German side or the Japanese side.
Yeah, then he ended up in Germany.
Yep, and then he ended up in Germany in the cleanup after.
And the stories and the things that
Unbelievable
he
things he saw.
he told us, it was like how these people were able to just like function with a normal life when the atrocities they saw is like.
Well, and a lot of them didn't, though.
No, and
you know,
a lot of them still don't. A lot of.
I want to say my friend's name is Alfred Consigli. He lives in Upton, and I want to tell a funny story about Alfred. During one of those times when he was in my office, that I had a young lady come in, kind of interrupted Al's storytelling, which he was, still is great at. And so she, told us she was looking for a rental, and she mentioned, I asked her what she did for a living, and she said she was a massage therapist. And so we talked a little bit more about her apartment and prospects, and she left. And Alfred looks at me and goes, and she came right out and admitted it.
That's funny.
He didn't know what it was.
No.
Just, you know, it's just they had a whole different
Take on the word.
yeah, and life in general. I mean, they
Yes.
were so naive.
Yes.
You know, they were not sophisticated. They just they were not worldly men. They were kids. Alfred never got married. Had a girlfriend for many, many years, and he kind of separated from her because he was going to leave her everything that he had, which was, you know, something significant. But she kept kind of mentioning, "You're living too long."
Oh, Jesus. That's terrible.
And that kind of, you know, put a strain on that relationship.
Oh, I would think so. I thought you were going to die a little while ago.
Anyway, enough of that. I do have to go to a break. I apologize to the callers on hold, but we'll be right back.
Broadcasting live and local, daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON, Woonsocket Radio, ON, AM, and FM.
New England's most beloved auction gallery is right in our backyard. It's Trudell's Auction Gallery of Bellingham. They were voted the gold medal for the best auction in ON Radio's Best of the Blackstone Valley. Live auctions are held every Monday throughout the summer. Doors open at 8 and the auction begins promptly at 9. Auctions are held indoors or outdoors depending on the week. So check their website, TrudellsAuction.com, to see if this Monday's auction will be inside or outside. Trudell's Auction Gallery, 799 South Main Street, Bellingham, right next door to Arigna's Irish Pub.
What does it mean to be owned by your customers? It means we don't answer to a headquarters in New York or a board of directors in Switzerland. It means we answer to a teacher in Woonsocket, a small business owner in Greenville, a contractor in Warwick. Our customers are our owners. Our owners are our customers. Come join us. Navigant Credit Union.
This ON 1240 forecast brought to you by Murphy's Gas on Social Street in Woonsocket, who reminds you that more germs are passed at self-service pumps than almost anywhere else. Murphy's Gas on Social Street provides personal service at or below self-serve prices while you remain in the comfort of your vehicle. And unlike other stations, it's the same price, cash or credit. A smarter, safer way to buy gas. Murphy's Gas, 1023 Social Street, Woonsocket.
An 80% chance of showers and possibly a thunderstorm today. Cloudy skies, high of 73. Between a quarter and a half an inch of rain is possible during the day today. Tonight, continued chance of showers and thunderstorms, but greatly diminished. A wind from the south, mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 63. Friday's weather, mostly sunny and 82. Saturday, sunshine and 78. Sunday, partly sunny and 75. Monday, mostly sunny and 75. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 76. And next Wednesday, mostly sunny, high near 81. Remember to send in your list of businesses of the day you heard us announce in May. If you're missing one or two, check out the social media.
All right, we are back, and let's get right to the calls. Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning, everyone. It's Louise.
Hey, good morning, Louise.
First, let's dispense with the mundane. I'm voting for the Fortunes. Here comes that rainy day feeling again.
Okay.
But another tough choice Thursday. I'd also like to share with you the significance of June 6th to me. Not only to remember the significance of D-Day and to honor the soldiers who paid the ultimate sacrifice. But on this day, I also choose to remember Bobby Kennedy. he was shot on June 5th, but he actually died on June 6th. And I always remembered that because my older sister, was charged with a school project. And she created this scrapbook. And she ended it by writing a poem. And the last line of the poem was, because of his death on June the 6th. And that always stuck with me. And I was a child when he died. But since that time, I've watched many documentaries about his life, and I am convinced that the course of American history was changed significantly as a result of his death. I would encourage listeners to go online and seek out the speech he gave on April 4th, 1968, the day that Martin Luther King was assassinated. He was scheduled for a campaign stop in Indianapolis, Indiana. And he decided that his handlers didn't want him to make the speech. They were afraid of violence because, if you recall, hearing other cities, major cities in the United States, people were rioting. But he decided to give a brief speech that lasted probably less than 5 minutes. And he stood on a flatbed truck. And I encourage listeners to seek out that speech because it is one of the most poignant that I've ever heard. And it speaks to his eloquence. He was such an eloquent speaker is what I'm trying to say. And I really believe he had the ability to unify the country, in a way that is now lost on our statesmen of today. So I just wanted to honor the soldiers of D-Day, but also remind people of what could be, and listen to that speech and take it to heart and do what we can to unify this country. And with that, I bid you a good day.
Okay.
Thanks,
Louise.
Louise.
Thank you, Louise.
Okay, thanks, Louise.
Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
You're speaking to Rainey.
Hi,
So
Rainey.
it's a big day, so you know what I'm picking, right?
Yeah.
I have a little story. I have a neighbor who lost her husband in the war, and she's over 100, and she never remarried, and she had 5 generations. So that poor guy missed out on his 5 generations. Sad, but you know what?
Wow.
We got to think about the wives that survived. She never remarried, and she stayed true to him.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and she had one daughter, and that daughter had a daughter, and that daughter had a daughter. They're all girls. So maybe he wouldn't have had a chance with all those women. But she's a very nice lady. But she's got 3 guys around here. We take care of everything. We take care of her yard, and snow blowing, and everything. And we're all on 24-hour service. If something happens, she needs us. Boom, we're all there at once.
That's so nice to hear.
Give yourself a
Yeah.
pat on the back.
Well, you just got to love the lady. If you've seen her and met her, she's very good. And every time it snows and everything, we say, Rita, quit praying for snow. I know you want to see us guys out here shoveling and doing all that, but go back in the house and don't pray no more. Call us up and ask us to come over for coffee. We'll bring you donuts. But she's nice. She's really, really good.
It's you bring that up, and I find today people don't know their neighbors anymore. They don't want to know who they are. They'll wave or something, but it's not like when we were growing up, we all knew our neighbors. We sat on each other's porches. You were there for each other. And now it's like you do your thing, I do my thing, and maybe we'll be there if something happens.
No, I'm right there. You want to hear a funny one? One night, the alarms go off. She has an alarm. I have an alarm. And the alarm went off. I got up in the middle of the night. I'm running across the street to run over there. And I'm trying to get my pants up, right? And it's my alarm going off.
Oh.
Well, I said, what the hell are you doing out there? But, that's how we are. I love older people. I got a lot of old friends. I got a sweetheart. She's 96 years old. And she's in a nursing home right now. But she was a very famous lady, with the Lincoln Greyhound dogs and everything. And when I walked around with her, take her to the restaurant and everything, everybody's over there. It's that. Yes, I'm with the Queen, June Bazaar, right? But she's so well liked. She's got so many friends and everything. She used to run the adoption agency at the Greyhound Park. But she's been around. I don't know if her husband was in the service, but so I love old people because they have a lot of stories, and I like to listen to a lot of stories.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why we do this program, and to encourage them to come forward and tell those stories before they're lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't talk about them, they're going to be gone forever.
We need to cherish our old people more than we do in this
But you
country.
mentioned a very important word, porch.
Yes.
Porches are disappearing from our neighborhoods, and more importantly, the use of those porches, I guess. We've gone from the front porch to the rear deck.
Yes.
And, we're separating ourselves from our neighbors more and more these days, and it's not a good thing.
No. We're fortunate enough on our street where we live. Our neighbors, we're all still friendly, and we're been there for 60 to 80 years with each of the neighbors on that street. So it's pretty cool.
I had a girlfriend one time who grew up in Woonsocket, and or Blackstone, I guess, actually, right on the line there. And she just broke out crying one day. And that's what she was crying about, that people don't sit on their porches anymore.
Yeah.
Not the same.
No.
I always hang out in the front and the back, but mostly in the front.
I have a stoop in the front. I still sit on my stoop, and my neighbor comes over, and we'll chit-chat for a while. And, it's just, it's nice to know that if something was to happen, you have somebody there that you can call, and they're going to be there.
Yep. No matter what, if somebody's bothering her or whatever, when somebody goes to her house, I'm over there outside watching them, make sure, they're not trying to scam her or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got all kinds of people in this world that do terrible things.
Yes.
And take advantage of them. But anyway, have a good day.
Okay.
And I'll call back.
Please do. Thank you.
All right, very good. I'll take one more call before we go to the break. Good morning. To my speaking.
This is Annette. Good morning, crew.
Hey. Good morning, Annette.
How is everybody today?
Good.
Good. How are you?
Are you calling to support your brother?
Yes, I am. Not because he's my brother, but because I like the song.
Okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to call and give you my vote.
Okay.
All right, Annette. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, and we'll be right back.
OM 1240.
Every once in a while, you meet a businessman that you just can't wait to do business with. Steve Peluso of Peluso Precision Automotive at 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon, Mass. is such a man. He specializes in mechanical repairs of vintage and classic cars. And if you don't have one, you'll want to have one just to share the experience with Steve. Maybe you had one in the past, never had a resource like Peluso Precision Automotive to keep it running and chase down parts for you, but now you do. Stop in and see Steve, and Steve will steer you in the right direction. Call Peluso Precision Automotive at 508-478-8900. That's 508-478-8900.
The summer menu is now in place at Fast Eddie's Cocktails and Dreams. They have fish tacos, seafood casserole, coconut shrimp, grilled swordfish, and so much more. Be sure to check their Facebook page for all their specials. And Fast Eddie's Cocktails and Dreams is now open on Wednesdays for lunch and dinner. Come on down to 350 River Street, Woonsocket for great drinks, great food, and great atmosphere. Fast Eddie's Cocktails and Dreams open Wednesday through Saturday at 11 a.m.
This ON AM and FM forecast sponsored by Travel Advisors International, 500 Mendon Road in Berkeley Commons in Cumberland. Same phone number they've had for 30 years, 7251234. Experienced, trusted travel professionals on the web at www.taitrips.com.
An 80% chance of showers and possibly a thunderstorm today. Cloudy skies, high of 73. Between a quarter and a half an inch of rain is possible during the day today. Tonight, continued chance of showers and thunderstorms, but greatly diminished. A wind from the south, mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 63. Friday's weather, mostly sunny and 82. Saturday, sunshine and 78. Sunday, partly sunny and 75. Monday, mostly sunny and 75. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 76. And next Wednesday, mostly sunny, high near 81. Remember to send in your list of businesses of the day you heard us announce in May. If you're missing one or two, check out the social media.
All right, we are back, and let's get right to the calls. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, folks. Dave from North Providence.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
My choice would be with the Fortunes today. I really love that song. I do love both songs, but that song is really a favorite of mine.
Okay.
And since this is the day of honor, I'll hold off on any trivia. I'll give a call back tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, folks.
Thanks, Dave.
And thanks to anyone out there who's served and who's given their life and their honor for this country. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, when you see these guys, all in their uniforms and their World War II hats, and it's the thing that's saddest to them is just remembering the friends that they lost that day.
Yes.
And that's what brings them back there all the time.
That was that man that we were watching on the news this morning, 99 years old, and he started crying like he was there yesterday.
Yep.
It was just amazing.
I can see it. It's
We
just
still have my father's hat and his jacket, his sergeant's hat and jacket from World War II.
Yeah,
Might be a good day to bring it out.
I mean, my father joined the Army as soon as he was of age, and in 42, he only had one eye, so they wouldn't allow him to stay in the Army. So he just immediately went over to the Merchant Marine. They didn't care.
Yeah,
And,
your dad had his father had
underbite.
an underbite where his jaw was in, and
He wanted to be in the Navy.
They
and
wouldn't take
would
him
not
because they
take
said
him.
if he was shooting guns and stuff like that, the way his jaw was, it would. So they wouldn't take him.
Army had no problem.
All right. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Hey guys,
Hey, Moose.
Daniel. In the Providence Sunday Journal, I saved an article pertaining to this day about the Woonsocket veteran at 99 years old. And I, too, with Dave, will try to remark on this tomorrow morning instead. I saved the articles, about 2 or 3 pages, and incredibly touching and seems so surreal for this particular man. So I'd like to discuss it probably tomorrow, if I may. And I was very touched by Louise's story about Bobby Kennedy. So with that, will the music, so to speak, take a backseat today? Even though it's always there in the back of our minds, and I'll say everyone have a good day.
You too, Moose.
All right. Thank you, Moose. A little comment on putting things in perspective. Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, if their sex lives were under the same microscope that politicians are today, who knows what would have happened. But we had a different world then. The press separated that from the good that they were doing. and made just made a difference.
I feel like life has become one big giant reality show. The bigger the reaction we get out of people, the better things are. And I don't like it. I don't like the way the world is today. I don't.
No, there's a time and place for everything, and the media knew their place back then, and they don't anymore. You know, it's always, you know, who's going to be the first to throw out the most salacious detail about...
They got to step across that line.
Yeah.
There is no line.
They want to make a name. And frankly, I think, you know, if I was to look back, it started with Woodward and Bernstein, you know, and Watergate. I mean, Nixon didn't do anything that other presidents, you know, didn't do that kind of stuff, you know, forever. They just didn't get caught. Nixon's problem was he got caught.
Yes.
And you know,
and the cover up.
And that was the beginning of the end, really. I mean, if you want to go back that far.
And Nixon really didn't have to do it. Technically, he didn't have to. He didn't need that.
No. But it's...
Your uncle was devastated with all of that because he was a huge Nixon man, and he took a nosedive when Nixon went down. Yeah.
I've said this before. I watched Nixon being interviewed, you know, before he was president or just before his first term, and very, very engaging, personable person.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Know, and presidency does things to people. I mean, you know, we talk about, you know, right now it's a big thing in the media about how old Biden is, but and you know, you look at him 4 years ago, he wasn't that bad.
No.
But the presidency, you know, every year is like 5 years once you're in that office, because you have literally have the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Absolutely.
And
I wouldn't want that job.
No. And you know what? The reason why we don't have the choices we have, the reason why we only I should say, the only reason we have the choices, limited choices we have for presidential candidates is because it's a thankless job. Mm-hmm. It's an absolutely thankless job.
We need a lot of new young blood in there.
Yes.
Not wackos, but new people who are willing to talk to each other across the aisle and not point fingers and take their ball and go home when they don't get their own way.
People in their
I'm tired of
40s,
politics
in
the
their
way they
30s.
are today.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, it's going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
To
no
somebody.
matter what you do, half the country's not going to like it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, and it takes a narcissist to be to just emotionally survive the presidency, because how do you deal with that? How do you deal with half the country hating you or not liking you?
Well, some people it fuels their inner fire.
And if you try to be the president that has policies that everybody's happy with, you're never going to get elected. So it's just, you know, hey, it's the best system in the world, and it's the worst
right now.
system in the world. So
We're still working on it. It's only been a couple of 100 years.
Yeah, they still
We're
call us
working on it.
the young baby nation. You know, we're still the experiment happening.
well, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
Neither do I.
And, you know,
We ain't got it either.
Neither do they.
So,
No.
yeah, we're a work in progress, and you know, people have predicted the end of the world every year for hundreds of years, and
Well, 2000,
it
all
hasn't
the
happened
computers
yet.
were going to get broken down,
Oh,
and that
yes,
was the end of
yes, yes.
everything. And here we are 24 years later.
You know, we seem to survive. So.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Yes.
In the absence of calls, what do you got for us today, Kathy? Throw something
Well,
out there.
do you want something trivia, funny? What do you want?
I think I'm in the mood for something trivial.
Something trivial. Alrighty. Let me see.
Lighten things up a bit here.
Trivial. Okay. It's just gonna put this out here. Sliced bread was invented a year after the invention of television. Did you know that? A year after TV, that's when we got sliced bread. Before that, we were
What
still
year
cutting
would
it
that
on
be?
our own.
38, 39?
You know, I don't know. When was television invented? I don't really
television
know.
goes way back.
You know, in very primitive fashion, television goes back to the 30s, but I don't know.
Yep, I don't know.
Anybody else know the answer to that?
No.
All right.
No.
Give
No
us another
idea.
one.
And children tend to grow faster in the spring. I don't know why that is. I have an asterisk because I want to look it up, but I didn't get to it. But yeah, for some reason, children have their major growth spurts
Oh, they
in
get
the
more
spring.
sunlight.
Probably the vitamin D. True fact though, children are getting diseases that were gone, like rickets, bone diseases, are coming back because kids don't play outside like we used to. They don't get dirty. There's all kinds of minerals in the dirt that we play in, along with whatever else there is out there. But we don't do this with our kids anymore. They just don't go out and play like we used to. If it wasn't raining, you were outside.
Yeah.
So,
Find something to do, or I'll find it for you.
That's it.
Famous words.
When we knew when that was coming out, get out the door.
See ya.
Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Hey guys, back at you. Are you there?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're here.
Oh, okay. I'll lull there for a second. Yeah, on the lighter side, just for a moment, Bobby was right with the Roseanne Cash, Kathy, and Marilyn Monroe. The 7-year ache and the 7-year itch.
Okay.
From Marilyn Monroe with Tom Ewell. Did you ever see this movie?
Absolutely.
I think it's one of the most hilarious roles played by this particular character.
Tom Ewell is perfect in this.
That was we were in tears, watching it, tears with laughter. This guy was unbelievable in this movie. He was so entertaining. But I'll leave you with this. In 1945, Billboard magazine published their first album chart with this singer, with the album titled "A Collection of Favorites," and they named it as a #1 album. Who is this singer? He died at the age of 44.
What year? Was that
1945.
45.
45. Billboard published the first album chart. Singer album called "A Collection of Favorites." I'll leave that out on the table and have a great day.
You too,
Thank you,
Moose.
Moose. Let's do a studio vote.
Okay, I am going with the Dave Clock 5 because.
DC5.
Why?
Because I like it.
Why? Oh, okay.
Because. Just because.
Tom?
DC5.
DC5.
And what's the score?
Give me your vote first.
It's got to be pretty much tied by now.
That's pretty
With the-
close.
With the studio votes.
What are you going to pick?
You can watch them contemplate on TV. You can see the smoke coming out.
It is a tough one.
It is. I like both songs.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Because.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Dave Clark 5 fan, but that's probably one of my favorite. Sorry, Eddie. One of my favorite Dave Clark 5s, if I had to pick one.
So right now, Marie is leading 8-4. We just put her way over the top by the studio votes.
Oh.
So.
All right.
Well
I thought it was
deserved.
closer than that.
No.
Well, it would have been without the studio.
Yes,
would have been
the studio
would have been a
votes,
tie
yeah.
without the studio
Pretty
votes.
much. It would have been 5-4 without the votes.
No, we just had 4 for the.
Four.
We just had 4 for.
Oh yeah,
from the studio.
yeah. So it would have been yeah.
It was 4-4 before the studio votes.
Gary, I'm sweating. I can't think right
Okay.
now.
Do you want me to put the camera on you?
Sure. You want to see me
Watch
sweat?
Kathy sweat.
Oh.
Dun,
Da-da-da. My
dun.
glasses don't want to stay up because I'm sweating like crazy.
It's hot in here.
All right. Well, once again, thanks to all the veterans out there.
Absolutely. Yes.
there's-
Thank you.
There's never enough you can do for veterans, whether it's local homeless veterans. Rich Elaine comes in here on Fridays and talks about stuff that Post 85 is doing. Great stuff they do there.
Yes.
Don't miss a chance to help those guys out. Just a couple bucks here and there makes a huge difference to keep them functioning. They do so much good.
Yes.
You just can't imagine what these guys are going through every day.
It's the
And,
ultimate sacrifice, whether they live
yeah.
or they die.
Well,
It's a sacrifice because of what they have to face when they come home and live every day after. And
I have a young friend who's served in Afghanistan, and he's just a mess. He's just an absolute mess. And but his way of his therapy is trying to help other guys going through what he's going through.
Yes.
And because it's only those guys that can understand you.
Yes,
That can
you have
understand
to
what they
walk
went
in
through.
their shoes to be able to
you really
understand
had to.
it. Yes.
And
don't forget, a lot of guys survive, a lot of men and women survive, but come home and take their own lives because they can't deal with what they went through. So they are a casualty of the war, whether they died there or not. They're taking their lives because they can't handle what they've been through.
this guy, he went in with all the, patriotic notions and just
gung-ho.
wanting to serve his country and just all the right things, and it's very different. It's not like the movies.
No, it's glorified. It's a little. I mean, they show you nowadays. It's more reality, but it's still a movie. It's
One of the saddest things that he told when he told his story. I put it on my Facebook. It's just unbelievable. It's like a 2-part little thing that he did, and it's really impressive how articulate he was about this. And he said that in Afghanistan, the kids are the real victims. Afghan men use young boys as sex toys in Afghanistan. You are at their mercy if you're a 9-year-old boy, and it's just you just want to shoot them. You just want to shoot these guys. It's just
disgusting.
It is disgusting. It's horrible. But hey, it's entirely different culture that we're never going to understand or accept.
No.
So anyway, with that, we will be back tomorrow. Eddie, you'll be here. Lynn will be here. Steve will be here. Marie will be here.
And we won't.
And I'll be here. But you guys will be listening. So
we'll be listening.
We will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everybody.
WOON Woonsocket.
Are you looking for solutions to meet your business banking needs? At Milford Federal, the longest standing community bank in the area, they offer customized solutions